Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to the video. Welcome back to the channel, the YouTubey Dubes. We here with another episode. And how I want to start it off, how I need to start it off, if we're gonna talk about old Stephen A. Smith. So old Stephen A. Smith, as y'all may know if you're new to the channel, Pelicans fans, of course, over here. Stephen A. Smith used. This is last night. Today is March 20th. April's coming up soon. As of yesterday, Stephen A. Smith is still going at the New Orleans Pelicans, and he's zeroing in on Zion Williams. This is one of those, Obama type things where the terrorist right here, but he in a mall. So either we gonna just leave the terrorists alone, or we gonna take out the whole mall. That's basically what Stephen A. Smith is doing. Of course, I just went super crazy right there with a comparison, but basically, this is what Stephen A. Smith doing. Now, back in the in season tournament, right? Let me type it in. I hope y'all hear my typing. Back in the in season tournament, after that, Stephen A. Smith went crazy. Went crazy on Zion. Went crazy on the thing. Of course, we lost by 40. Got tore up. We did beat the Lakers the next week by 20. That don't matter. You lost by 40 in whatever this little tournament is, right? Stephen A. Smith goes on TV, goes off. Dude, he talks about the whole chef thing, the whole whatever. Now he's talking about people hiding food under the bed. I don't know what's going on. But even then, the day after they got tore up, it seemed personal. Stephen A. Smith brought up his I think his stepdad, his camp, and different things like that, and he just went crazy, right? The date of that, December 7th, 2023. December 7th. It is March 20th. And every time I need you to listen, I need you to listen, I need you to tune this up. I need to turn it up just a little bit. If the volume is on 45, put it on 78. Just real quick. Every time a media member, ESPN, I don't give a damn if it's Fox News, I don't give a damn if it's Boss Stools, Pat McAfee, Pat Sajak, Pat Patterson, whoever it is, they bring up the Pelicans' performance in this tournament in December 7th, before Christmas. Be a little accurate. 2.5 weeks before Christmas. The Warriors lost by 50 2 weeks ago. We already off that. But the Pelicans losing, was this 3 months? It's the first thing brought up. It's literally the first thing brought up every single podcast, TV show, on the streets. That seems a little weird, don't it? That don't seem like propaganda. We're gonna back off that a little bit because I know propaganda when I see it, but we're gonna back off that a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, the Pelicans um Twitter account, the social media account, went after Stephen A. Smith after he went back on TV and went after Zion again. And we won. He went after you again. Look, should have said at the beginning. I'm not a Zion merchant. I'm all up for trading him. It's been 4 years. I think he's an unguardable player. You heard that on several platforms. You see videos. You see a click trade because he is unguardable in the paint. But let's say if you switch a Rooney that with him, he's considered a star or becoming a star player. Switch him with Tatum. He's not a fully complete player, even though he's unguardable in the paint. He's not a fully complete player. It's been 4 years, and this is the first year he's probably about to play the most games he's ever played, which is 61 games. And this is I'm not I'm all right with that. I know his injuries. I know if he got for me, it's rooting for my team. I that I don't want it on a team. That's just my opinion. And I'm not a hardcore fan. I'm fully making dollars of it. Don't matter who you are, what you are. I'm a fan of a lot of people that just going out there playing hard. I should have put that kind of disclaimer at the front. I am a bias fan. And that's bias. He goes back on. He goes in again. So don't go again. And a half and 1 assist in his high school, college, whatever days. He goes back on TV. Account. Oh, he was hurt. But I need anybody who know I told my in a second game. I told my thing I didn't play. We only played one game. I got hurt in the first game. I didn't even get to play 2-3 games. Okay. I don't know how you play one game, 1.5. Typically you gotta play 2 games to get to the half. But I got an A Matt, so maybe, that was a long time ago. Just like Stephen A. fucking Smith injury in high school was a long time ago. So for him to still be taking that personally, we're gonna get to that, is crazy because he's 50. I don't even this is the first time I brought up high school in probably years. For me personally, I don't give a shit. I could give 2 shits about what happened. He double my age. So why the fuck he need to defend himself from something if he's 55, it happened when he was 17, 18. Or maybe even 19, 20. We don't know, if he got out of school at the right time. But he went back on TV again yesterday with Jay Williams, one of the worst opinions in the business. He went back on TV again. And he said, oh, yeah, they lied. And, they lied about the stats. They made up the stats. And these are stats that were taken from his TV show. All they did was copy, and paste, and went at his rack with stuff he put on his own TV show. Something personal is going on between Stephen A. Smith and the camp of Zion Williamson. We already know that most of these guys that are on TV, they don't watch the games. They only watch the games that are on national TV. We know that inside the NBA. Again, I've said that in the past. It's the greatest sports show ever. It's one of the greatest shows ever in general. These niggas don't watch them games. It could be a national TV game that they covering and they ain't watching that bitch. You think they watching New Orleans and Portland on a Thursday night? Of course not. So if inside the NBA ain't watching games, ESPN ain't watching games, Fox News ain't watching games. And by not watching games, I mean they only looking at televised games, Boston and thing. They were going crazy for Lakers and Warriors. I was listening to one podcast. It was Who Collective. Dude was like, oh, it was Zach Lowe podcast, was one of my favorite podcasts. His guest is like, oh, he was locked in. He strapped in his seatbelt to watch Lakers and Warriors. A 9 and a 10 seed. Dudes fighting over a 9 and a 10 seed. Again, the P word, propaganda, is real. My question is, what is going on personally between Stephen A. Smith and Zion Williamson? Because we just had Stephen A. Smith apologize for the stuff he said at Kwame Brown. Now he apologizing now because Kwame Brown is out and about and he's going at everybody's rack. So you apologize what you did to Kwame Brown 20 years ago. And all you do is take personal shots at a guy who's clearly struggling. The Zion, he clearly had a kind of a mental lapse somewhere in between the last couple years. And you going at his rack on TV. Something else is going on. You can talk about bad play. You can talk about the Lakers international championship. What I don't know what the fuck this is called. In season tournament. I'm sorry. In season tournament. You keep talking about that. You keep bringing that up. That happened on December 7th. When you're going at somebody's health and weight constantly, you can go at somebody. I don't mind a little poor boy joke here and there. That's all right. Nigga, he was the one doing it. I get that. But as a sports personality, you can't keep going at that every time, even when it's not true. It's clearly ain't true right now. So I want to know what's going on with Stephen A. Smith, Zion Williamson. It has to be something personal going on. Something's going on within their camp. Somebody let me know so I can let y'all know.